Good morning, everyone. So, Saturday, uh, in the morning, I just finished my. I did some grammar tests and exams, and also I did something else. I don't remember exactly, but I was studying in the morning, and it went pretty good, and I was satisfied with my effort. Uh, Things are sticking with me, at least in the test space, but practically it's a different question. Anyhow, me and Andreas Adolf had decided to meet up, so in the afternoon or early afternoon or whatever, we met up at Shibuya. And I'm planning, or at least Rigo needs a new tablet and had decided to get an iPad, so it was decided to buy it here because you save a bit of money on that. And I were considering doing the same because my iPad it's not too old per se. I mean, a lot of things work, but it's not some of the things, yeah, of this contraption have stopped working as it should, and also it's a bit slow when it comes to working and stuff. And the entire computer that I am lugging around, it's quite heavy and quite big, and it's also usually not really. I don't really need this much when I move around, but I don't have a viable alternative, and my tablet cannot really fulfill the same kind of purposes. But the new iPad, both the Pro and then the Air have the capabilities, and the normal one have the capabilities that they are enough for actually using as a computer, and it's more mobile and easier to transport. Not to mention that the new keyboard for them are a lot better than this and not broken. My keyboard is broken. So I have not decided yet if I want to do it, but if I should do it, I should do it here, I think. But it also depends. I could just do it next year, but I think maybe I might do it here instead. I am not certain. Uh, so the first thing we did in Shibuya was go to the Apple store or whatever, and just look around. I wanted both to see the prices and to test and feel some things. The Pro version of the iPad is just ridiculously priced. I mean, it is like a computer, a very good computer, but it's not a computer. I mean, you don't have the control you have on a computer. You can't really use it in the same way, and it is neat. But I don't think I will buy a Pro. If I buy one for myself as well, I don't. I probably will buy a 13-inch normal one with the keyboard. I'm not certain yet because if I am to use the iPad completely to kind of switch out the laptop, I might, but it's so expensive, and most of the things that it adds are things I probably won't use, like video editing. It would be good if I want to continue YouTube maybe and stuff like that, but I don't know. We'll see, but in all likelihood, I either will just buy a 13-inch normal one or nothing and just buy one when I get here. No idea. Anyhow, so we went there and then we went to Uniqlo. Uh, I think it was direct. No, before Uniqlo. I don't remember if we went to Uniqlo first and then to the library place. Maybe not. I don't know. We went to some different places. Andreas Adolf needed a shirt or something, and we went to Uniqlo at some point, either before we went to a bar known as the Forest Library hour after when before we went to the I think it was after the actually. So we went to the library first, which is kind of a bar that is in this room where they have books, a lot of books, shit tons of books. Uh, and when you get there, you actually get a coaster, kind of like this, that has the title of a book, and this is the name of the place. And on the back, you have some summaries of the book and what it's about. If you go and find the book, you can kind of start, not really a mini game, but there is a kind of something where if you read the book, you get a snack or something like that. I don't remember exactly the details, and uh, yeah, it is a kind of a fun thing that is trying to help you explore books. So, but we went there because Andreas had shown some interest in helping me a bit with this Kaku Kaku Shikayika novel that I'm reading in the manga course, and we were looking through it a bit and discussing, but we got a bit off track due to, I don't know, hanging out and drinking. But even so, it is helpful to discuss some things and also get to realize how much you I mean, I thought I had misunderstood some things, but other things I also missed. So manga is interesting, but the problem with just Kaku Kaku Shikayika, which I need to push through at some point, is it's boring. The subject and the theme and the story is boring, and then it doesn't help that it's hard to get into because there are many words and expressions which I don't yet understand. Um, I mean, I have just finished Doraemon, and Doraemon worked, and it's technically the first manga I read the entire thing off, and it took me like 4 days in total, 6 to 8 hours. It is exhausting, but I have done it. I haven't done it with the books I actually want to read that I have back home. I have bought all the Attack on Titan volumes, some of the Before the Fall, and I also have bought Yotsuba, which I also have experience I can write and read. And I have planned that this trip, this coming week, this last week ahead of me, I'm gonna buy all of those. So I have until the latest volume that was released this year, like volume 13 or 14 or something like that. Because and my confidence now after getting into the manga course and actually being able to understand most of Doraemon is that probably Yotsuba, I can read Yotsuba now. Sure, there will be words I don't know, but not in the way that it makes it like Kaku Kaku Shikaika, where after just one or two comic boxes you are stuck for a longer time. And the worst thing with the manga is just when you look at something and then you have to investigate and look something up, and every time I look something up it breaks the pace and makes me more and more annoyed. So we were looking a bit at that, discussing and talking about things, and then we went to Uniqlo, um, and just a quickie, and then after that we went to a Shabu Shabu place I had reserved, because I want to eat shabu shabu. Shabu shabu is probably my top favorite Japanese dish, and but it's not very fun to do it by yourself. It feels like a waste because it's usually nomi hodai, and it's also like just eating by your lonesome. Then I rather do something which is a portion kind of like ramen or something like that. But if you're doing a communal kind of thing, it's more fun to actually socialize at the same time. And so we took the opportunity to do that, and we got stuffed. Hey, so yeah, you at least I never leave a Shabu Shabu or Yakiniku place without feeling like I have eaten a lot more than I should probably. So then we we went to karaoke, I think, after that. I don't remember. I did we do something before that? Because let's see, we went there at 7 and 10, and then yeah, I think we walked around for a bit and then karaoke. I don't think we did anything in between that. So a lot of eating and a lot of socializing and almost no Japanese. It doesn't really matter. In this case, I think it was just easier to not do it, and also because it could embarrass people around us. Maybe I felt like that. I don't think Andreas do, but it is what it is. But it was nice, and Chambu Chambu is always super nice, and um, it's a bit expensive. Oh yeah, and we went. Yeah, we went to a place. Yeah, we went to the Lost Bar after the Shabu Shabu place. Now I remember. The Lost Bar is a bar in Shibuya, in the middle of Shibuya, which abroad in Japan, and his fiancée Charla have established. And for those that don't know, abroad in Japan is a YouTuber, a big influencer that got popular in Japan for just talking about culture and things. I first encountered his videos like in when he had started out, just as he moved to Sendai, I think, and I have watched his movies every now and then. He was the one that gave me the um, the idea of doing the all you can eat wanko soba thing that me and Adolf did in 2017 when we first ate a 1 kilo steak each in in Osaka. Then we got on a Shinkansen and went 1,000 kilometers to Morioka up in the north and ate wanko soba there and did some karaoke in that town as well. And then we just went back to Tokyo afterwards. Right? Not in exactly one go. We did sleep in between. So yeah, it was. So that's how I got to know Abroad in Japan, and I follow his channel, and he's one of the most honest influencers when it comes to YouTube, and he's also focusing on a lot of things in Japan that are outliers for popular tourism. And he's gotten very popular in Japan, and he's gotten very popular outside of Japan as well. So a lot of the people that watch him support him, and when he and Charla got involved, I mean, it is kind of the thing where the internet just gets focused on a couple, and then it becomes a social celebrity thing, even though that was not the point and still isn't. But they made this bar, and it became very popular with foreigners, it seems. I did not know it was that popular. I thought it was popular for more than one thing. Now I'm getting a lot of messages from my Japanese friends, but never mind. When we went there, I went there mostly because I wanted to just see the bar for myself. The pictures in the internet doesn't make things like that justice, and it's a nice place to go. But it was, I would say, the bar is in and of itself decent and good in that regard, but it's too popular with Westerners, and also I know this from listening on his podcasts and watching some things, is that they have the policy of trying to make it a workplace that is more uh, giving decent salaries and stuff. And that makes everything super expensive. So, for instance, I just bought a sake set with three different um, with 3 cups of sake, but it's technically just the same as ordering one sake. But so you get to taste more. That's about it. But the cost of that is was twice the cost of all I can drink alcohol, including sake, from the Shabu Shabu. So it is expensive, and also they had a lot of. I think all in the personnel were fluent in English, and maybe one or two of them knew Japanese, and there might have been one Japanese person that knew English that was working there as well. I think it would have been a great mistake if they had no one that could actually speak Japanese if there were an incident. So yeah, but most of the people that came there were foreigners. The only 3 Japanese people I saw coming there were people that I would categorize as gaijin hunters or similar that went there on dates and with a foreigner and spoke English. And there were some that looked Japanese first, but as soon as it started talking, it was in Chinese. So I it is kind of a tourist trap that isn't a tourist trap. I mean, it is a place that is so popular with Westerners that Westerners go there, and it is also kind of the Western vibe of a bar. Like you go there with the company, and you be are with that company. I saw one Westerner girl that sat at the bar there, and she looked like she wanted to come there to meet people. She didn't meet anyone. She left without meeting anyone, and she looked super disappointed. And I understand because everyone that came there as a group or as a couple or something like that, and they did not socialize with anyone other than their own group, including me and Adolf. It wasn't really that environment. I mean, if you were a super big company, like a group that comes there and the group doesn't really know each other, like the meetups that you can join, then maybe you could meet someone else, but then you're already meeting them. But it's not a very good place for meeting new people per se, and the prices there are extremely expensive, even for Shibuya. Very expensive. It's like going out in Sweden, I assume, from the little experience I have of that. So it's kind of a tourist trap, but it's not a tourist trap because the vibe is not trappy, but it is. You don't get to see locals and you don't get to see or feel the local culture. The drinks are real for like that, and it is a support for abroad in Japan and Charla's businesses. But I also would say that bar is a fire hazard because the entrance is kind of blocked by a big vending machine, and I did not see any escape routes. So it was one entrance. In Sweden, like when we renovated my store, Spenkällan one, I had that. It was like okay, when we were building walls inside the store, and the inspector before we were doing this gave us the rules or so things like that. In Sweden, you cannot build a building or a room like that and expect people to go in. You need to have a second point of exit in case one gets blocked or something like that. In this case, let's say that it starts burning in the fire, you have to break the windows to get out of there. That's the only place you couldn't get out of, and it was yeah, bye. Not a good thing. But yeah, Japan is very often like that. The way they reason in those situations, I don't really understand it. Maybe there was more another exit, but everywhere I looked, it was not. But it was a nice looking place. It was fun to be there. It was fun to have experienced it, and I will not go there again due to I'm not interested in foreigners. Maybe if someone I guide in Japan wants to go there, I would go there for sure. I mean, it is what it is. But if you want to be part of the Japanese culture, this is an offshoot from that. It is an oasis away from the Japanese that support English speakers mostly. I mean, the personnel and the owners. So I would recommend it once, but just as a experience, it's a place that for this moment is it has a nice entrance. And after that, we went to karaoke, of course. Only 1 hour, which is too bad, but I understand we're getting older. I mean, I would probably have stayed out longer if I had someone else to do things with, but it also, I was a bit drunk, maybe more than a bit drunk when we were done. So I should probably, so I went home and I should probably have done that as well. But if would have had one reason to go to karaoke all night, I would have done that. By myself, I don't think I will do it yet because when I sing, I am not quick enough in singing and reading the Japanese text at the same time, unless I have at least a pretty good knowledge of the song. I can follow along, or the song is slow. Like when we did karaoke at my place in the Japanese discussion group, me, Mikael, Andreas, and Daniel, not Drak, the other one. Then Mikael often picked songs that were a lot slower than the songs I usually like, and those songs are, I mean, you sing so much slower that I have enough time. I should try to find some songs in that speed to just train my ability to read and sing at the same time, but it doesn't give the right energy sometimes. But I probably should, and I think that if and when I move here, I will probably start practicing by that because it is like, let's say I go out at 11 in the evening where free time starts, which is kind of a very cheap price until 6 a.m. So it's you get a lot of time. If I were to go out at that time sometime and then sit at karaoke, I could train myself like the same song over and over and over again and singing that first, trying to catch along, then getting better, then getting better, then getting better, both learning the song by memory as well as learning by recognizing like songs like Sankoku Tenshin no Teise that I usually sing every time I go to karaoke, some kind of fixed idea I got like 2013 or something. When I started liking karaoke, I realized I I knew this song and it became my go-to song in the beginning, and then it's become kind of tradition that at least once, no matter how short the karaoke, I will sing this. And that song I know almost 90% by heart. I Some of the things are wrong, like when you learn as a kid, you sing something and you sing it by what you think you hear, and then when you grow up, you realize it was actually this sound. So I know it pretty well, but when I know a song and I follow along, it's easy to do it easier, a lot easier to do it correctly, follow the song and the lyrics, and it actually helps my quicker pronunciation while singing. So I will probably train that because I love karaoke and I would love to do more karaoke, and I would love to do karaoke with songs I don't know yet, but it's a far way off. I need to first get more natural in my speaking that I don't need to think that much. Anyhow, it was a nice evening, a nice break of pace. I finished all my studies yesterday, kind of all the studies I had the intent of doing, and today, Sunday, I will probably study a lot. I uh, need to go and meet or go to Natsumi and Adolf because he has my medicine and I really need that medicine. the yeah. Anyhow, so have a nice day, everyone.